The sky above planet Arkena cracked open like glass. Blue lightning flashed across the horizon as alien ships screamed down through the clouds. The war had not been declared. It simply arrived. The humans had been sent to observe, not to fight. Their mission was peaceful. But something had triggered the Royal Arkenan fleet. What was once a quiet watch turned into a desperate escape. Among the chaos, a single human soldier, Liam Thorne, got separated from his unit. His ship was hit, alarms wailed, systems failed. He crashed deep into the frozen forest valleys of Arkena. The impact knocked him unconscious. Snow buried half his body. His armor, cracked and sparking, shielded him just enough to survive. His breathing slowed. His vitals dropped. But his body kept holding on. In the capital tower far from the crash site, Queen Elsera stood silent. Her eyes, glowing silver, stared out at the fires across the sky. She felt something, a pull. A strange warmth in her chest. Unlike her advisors, she did not call for more weapons. She did not shout for blood. She turned away from the war maps and left the war room without a word. Her guards followed, confused and worried. Elsera did not explain where she was going. She simply walked. Her royal cloak dragged across the palace. Stones. Her bare feet touched ice, but she did not shiver. She let her instincts guide her. Hours passed. The queen climbed icy slopes, walked through wind and frost. Her guards begged her to return. She said nothing. Her golden armor shimmered against the pale snow. Something kept calling her. At last she reached a broken trail of metal. Human tech. A half-buried pod lay smashed between jagged rocks. Wires sparked gently beneath the snow. The queen moved closer, her breath still and quiet. Inside the wreck, she saw him. A man, a soldier. His helmet lay cracked beside him. His face was bruised but peaceful. He was not dead, not yet. But his light was fading. Her guards raised their weapons. A spy, one said. An invader, another whispered. But Queen Elsera raised her hand. No, she said calmly. He is not our enemy. He is mine to care for. She stepped forward and knelt beside him. Her fingers, glowing faint with ancient healing light, touched his forehead. A spark passed. Between their skins, her heart fluttered strangely. His chest rose again. The queen's breath caught in her throat. This human, this stranger, had something inside him that she had never seen in her own kind. Not just strength. Not just warmth. It was something deeper. She closed her eyes and whispered a soft word in her native tongue. The air around them shimmered. Like crystal, her healing spell began to flow. But it wasn't just her power that kept him alive. It was his presence that gave her calm. Her heart beat faster. For a moment, she forgot the war above them. She forgot the voices calling her back. All she saw was his face, still, resting, alive. Her guards shifted nervously. They had never seen her act like this. Royalty did not touch outsiders. Royalty did not kneel. But Elsera didn't care. Her hand stayed on his. Her warmth shared with him. This human will not die, she said. Not here. Not alone. She lifted him gently into her arms. Her strength was royal-born, but the weight of him felt right. He leaned into her without knowing. As she stood, the queen gave a single command. We return to the palace. Prepare the high chamber. He sleeps there now. Under my protection. The guards bowed slowly, their faces tight with confusion. But they obeyed. No one questioned the queen's voice when it held that kind of power. Back at the palace, healers examined him. Machines scanned his wounds. Nothing made sense. His blood reacted oddly with Arkenan energy. His heartbeat synced perfectly with the queen's own. Elsera sat beside him through the night. Her crown rested on the table, her gloves removed. She held his hand with her bare fingers and whispered quietly into the dark, "You do not know me, human, but I know you now, and you belong here, with me." The sun never truly rose over the icy lands of Arkena. Instead, soft glowing mists drifted over crystal mountains and frozen forests. Inside the queen's chamber, the warmth of golden firelight wrapped around the room like a living memory. Leon Thorne remained unconscious, lying on silken sheets that shimmered under the glow of alien lanterns. His skin was pale, his heartbeat steady but faint. His human body did not belong in this world, yet it had not rejected it either. Queen Elsera stood near the window. Her crown was back on her head, her armor polished and proud, but her face carried quiet weight. She did not speak to anyone since returning. Her thoughts were locked in a place only she could reach. She had been trained for war, diplomacy, and rule. But nothing had prepared her for the strange, invisible thread she now felt between herself and this sleeping human. Outside her chamber, nobles and generals gathered. They whispered about betrayal. Some called for his execution. Others questioned the queen's state of mind. But no one dared open her doors without permission. One of her advisors, an elder named Varn, finally spoke with boldness. "My queen, if I may speak freely, that human may be the spark of our destruction. We must not risk everything for a single outsider." Elsera turned her head slowly. Her eyes narrowed, but she kept her voice soft. "You speak of risk. I speak of truth. I felt his pain before I saw him. He is not like the others. He is something more." Varn bowed with a stiff spine. "I trust your judgment, Majesty, but the council grows uneasy. They say he should be studied, contained, questioned, before he becomes dangerous." "No," she said firmly. "He is under royal protection. He will not be harmed. Not while he still draws breath." She returned to Liam's side and looked down at him. Her hand brushed his face again. His skin twitched beneath her touch. His fingers curled slightly. The healing was working, but slow. Unknown to her, Liam's mind was drifting between shadows and light. He saw broken pieces of memory. Fire snow. Crashing metal, then a voice, a soft one. A voice that carried warmth he had never known. He tried to speak, but his lips would not move. He tried to open his eyes, but the world stayed dark. Still, the voice returned, again and again, until it felt like a promise wrapped in golden light. Back in the hall, a different kind of visitor had arrived. General Kordax, commander of the planetary forces, stood with his squad of white-armored guards. His presence was not gentle. It was force made flesh. "I demand entry," he shouted. "By law, no alien may lie within royal chambers without council consent. We cannot allow this weakness to spread." Before his men could act, the queen's door opened, not by force, by her will. She stepped out, eyes calm but sharp like blades carved from ice. Her voice echoed through the marble walls. "Take one more step toward that door, and I will strike your name from the stars. He is mine, and I do not share what I claim." The entire hall fell silent. Even General Kordax hesitated. He had seen the Queen's wrath once, years ago, on a battlefield soaked in fire. He lowered his gaze and stepped back without another word. Inside the chamber, Liam's eyes opened for the first time. Blurred light hid his vision. He gasped for air. His body ached, but he was alive. The first thing he saw was a golden ceiling. The second was her. She stood above him like a vision from another world. Her face was soft, her blue skin glowing under the firelight. Her white braids fell like silk down her armor. She smiled gently, without a word. Liam tried to sit up, but failed. His voice came out rough. "Where am I? What is this place?" Elsira reached out and steadied him. "You are in my world, safe, and mine now. No harm will come to you." He blinked in confusion. "Mine? Wait, who are you?" She laughed, a soft sound like music and snow. "I am Elsira, Queen of Arkena. And you, human, fell from the sky into my hands. You did not ask for this. But fate has decided for you." Liam's heart pounded. He was trained to resist, to question, to lead. But something in her eyes calmed all fear. He nodded slowly. He did not understand everything, but he felt the bond growing between them. Outside, the council whispered. Inside, the queen stayed. Beside him, her hand on his. Her words like flame in the cold. "You are no longer alone. From this moment on, your life is tied to mine. Let the stars speak against it if they dare." Liam sat on the edge of the soft crystal bed, his feet finally touching the polished floor of the queen's chamber. His injuries were healing faster than expected. The strange light in this world, mixed with her touch, had done something to him. He looked around the room. Every surface shimmered. The walls were alive with slow, moving patterns. He didn't know if they were painted or breathing. This palace felt more like a living creature than a building. Queen Elsira walked toward him, her royal steps silent and graceful. She held a silver bowl filled with glowing fruit slices. She sat beside him, offering one gently into his palm. "Eat, it will keep your strength." He hesitated, then bit into the soft fruit. It tasted like nothing he had ever known. Sweet, warm, and bright. It melted on his tongue and gave his mind a sudden clarity. His chest no longer ached. His thoughts sharpened. "You could have left me to die," he said after a while. "Your people could have taken me prisoner. Why help me?" She looked at him, her silver eyes calm. "I felt your spirit before I ever saw your body. The bond formed before I understood what it was. You are more than a soldier to me. You are a key." "A key to what?" he asked, his voice steady but guarded. "To ending this war, or changing it forever. My people believe strength comes from bloodlines and crowns. But I saw something in you that made me question everything." Liam shook his head. "I'm just a scout, nothing more. I got shot down. I didn't even finish my mission." She placed her hand over his. "Sometimes fate chooses the weakest to carry the heaviest weight. You were brought here not by mistake. You're part of something larger now." Before he could reply, the door opened. A young royal guard stepped in, her armor marked with the queen's crest. She bowed low. "My queen, the High Council demands your appearance. They question your orders." Elsira stood, her face unreadable. "They question my heart. Not my orders. I will go. But he stays here, guarded, protected." As she walked away, Liam felt something he had not expected. A pull in his chest. Not fear, not confusion. It was the feeling of being seen for the first time, not as a soldier, but as a man. Down in the council chamber, the room buzzed with tension. Golden-robed elders filled the circle. General Kordax stood in the center, arms crossed, his voice rising as the queen entered. "You risk the balance of our rule," he growled. "The people talk. They fear weakness. They say you have chosen a human as consort. Is that true?" The queen did not flinch. "He is not consort. He is guest, sacred, and under royal protection." Kordak stepped forward. "What does he have that makes him sacred to our kind?" Elsira looked at the council one by one. "He survived what none of us could. He breathed our air, touched our light, and lived. Our ancestors wrote of such beings in the deep texts. He matches the old signs." Murmurs filled the room. Elders leaned to one another, whispering about the prophecy. The writings of the first dawn. a stranger from the stars who would walk through. Arkena storms and awaken the still flame. But even if it is true, one elder said, we cannot let emotions rule. If the humans learn of this, they will come for him. We must send him away before it's too late. The queen's voice turned sharp. I will not send him away. He's already tied to our world. If they come, we face them not with fear, but with fire. Let them see who we protect and why. Meanwhile, in her chamber, Liam stood by the window. He watched birds of crystal wings fly across the white sky. He felt stronger, clearer. His human body had never moved this easily before. He raised his hand and stared at it. Veins glowed faintly with a silver hue. The food, the healing light, the queen's touch, they had changed something inside him. He wasn't fully human anymore. Suddenly, a sharp pain hit his side. He staggered and clutched the wall. Visions burst into his mind. Battles, flames, a dark figure with a burning crown, and Elsera crying, reaching for him in the smoke. He gasped and dropped to one knee. The visions faded. He breathed heavily, sweat on his face. Whatever was happening, it wasn't just healing. It was transformation. When the queen returned, she saw it in his eyes. He had seen something. She rushed to him and placed both hands on his face. What did you feel? What did you see? He swallowed hard. A war. That hasn't started yet. And you? Dying. Her lips parted slightly, but she said nothing. Then she nodded slowly. Then we are both linked more deeply than I feared. Your visions match the scrolls of my bloodline. She helped him stand again. You are not ready to leave this place, but you are no longer just a guest. You are part of Arkena now. Part of me. Liam was not the same man who had crashed onto Arkena. His body healed, yes, but something deeper had changed. The silver light that once glowed in Queen Elsera's hands now pulsed faintly under his skin. He walked slowly through the royal gardens under the queen's watch. Giant glowing leaves moved when he passed, as if responding to his presence. Animals that once feared humans came close and bowed their heads. Elsera stood at a distance, silently observing him. Her face carried pride, but also worry. She had bonded with him through instinct, but now she wondered what ancient forces had truly brought him here. Later that night, she called the temple elders. They wore robes of shimmering light, faces hidden beneath hoods woven from memory thread. These were the keepers of prophecy, the ones who spoke to the stars. They examined Liam without touching. They hummed softly in unison. One stepped forward and spoke. He carries the dawn mark, the signal of the old flame. He is no longer outsider. He is awakened. Elsera nodded, her voice steady. Then the scrolls speak truth. He is the one foretold, and his visions are warnings we must not ignore. The elders agreed. The dark crown returns. The vision he saw is a glimpse of the shadow era. He must be trained, or he will be consumed by what now lives inside him. Training began the next day, not with weapons, but with will. Elsera led the lessons herself. She taught him to use his breath to guide the light, to listen with his bones, to stand still. When the universe screamed, Liam struggled at first. His body shook during meditations. His memories of Earth got in the way. But with each passing day, his strength grew. His balance sharpened. His thoughts became like stone. One afternoon, Elsera placed a small firestone in his palm. This is a memory crystal. It will show you what lies buried in your spirit. Use it only when your mind is quiet. That night, he sat in silence. The palace had gone still. Only the soft wind outside moved the curtains. He held the crystal and let it rest against his chest. It pulsed once, and then it opened his past. He saw his childhood. A lonely boy hiding behind walls. He saw the day he joined the Corps, the moment his father died in his arms. And he saw himself broken, alone until a blue hand reached for his face. The memory faded, but tears remained on his cheeks. He did not cry out of pain. He cried because he felt whole again. The missing parts of him had returned in silence and light. Elsira entered the chamber and saw his face. She sat beside him, her voice low. I have walked the path of pain too. I know the weight you carry. But you are not alone in it now. Liam looked at her, his voice soft. Why me? Why did fate choose a stranger from another world? She smiled. Because sometimes it takes a stranger to remind a kingdom who they truly are. But peace did not last. A message arrived the next morning. A broken drone crashed through the eastern gate. Inside it was a human transmission. Fragmented. Distorted. But Liam recognized the voice. It was his old commander, Colonel Dren. The message was simple. If you are alive, return. They planned to invade Arkena. We were wrong about the mission. It was not recon. It was extraction. Liam's blood went cold. He stood frozen while the Queen read the message again. Her face was unreadable, but her fists were tight. She had saved him. Trained him. But now his people threatened her world. I didn't know, he said quickly. They never told me the truth. I was just sent to scan the surface. I swear I didn't know this would happen. Elsira looked at him for a long moment. I believe you, but belief will not stop their weapons. If they come, they will burn this world to reach you. And I will not let them. Liam stepped forward. Then I must speak with them. If I can get to their command ship, I can stop the war before it starts. She turned sharply. You will not go alone. If you leave these walls, you walk into danger. And danger will not care for your noble plan. He nodded. Then let me go with your blessing. Let me carry your mark. Let them know that I am yours. That I belong to your people now. The Queen's eyes glowed faintly. Her lips trembled for the first time. Without a word, she stepped closer and placed both hands on his chest. A beam of silver light poured from her fingers and burned into his skin. It left a mark. A royal seal in ancient runes. A living symbol over his heart. Not just a brand of power, but a sign of trust. The mark burned against Liam's skin, not with pain, but with power. It pulsed in rhythm with his heartbeat. The Queen's seal was now a living part of him. Every Arkenan who saw it would know what he carried. The Queen stood in front of him, her fingers still glowing from the ritual. Her eyes did not blink. Her voice came slow and strong. You are not just a soldier anymore. You are the bridge between two worlds. Liam took a steady breath. Then let me do what bridges are meant to do. Let me stand between the fire and the storm. Preparations began immediately. A sleek transport ship was chosen. Fast and shielded. Queen Elsira gave her personal command crew to Liam. He was no longer a guest. He was an envoy. The ship rose at dawn. White clouds parted as the vessel climbed into the sky. Arkena's twin suns cast long shadows across the frozen land. Liam looked back once before the clouds swallowed the palace. Inside the cockpit, Liam sat quietly. The Arkenan pilot, a female named Vexa, spoke without looking at him. Your mission is clear. Reach their ship. Speak before they fire. If they fire first, we fall back. Liam nodded. Understood. I don't want this war. I want peace. But if they refuse, I'll protect your world as if it were my own. As they left the planet's orbit, human ships came into view. 4 heavy destroyers, their weapons armed, their positions aggressive. It was not a search mission. It was a war fleet. The radio crackled. A sharp voice cut through. Unidentified craft. This is Commander Rillis of the Earth Colonial Force. Turn around or be destroyed. Liam leaned forward. This is Sergeant Liam Thorne. Authorization 47C. I'm alive. And I am not alone. I come with the Queen's seal. I demand to speak with the High Command. Silence followed. Then, a long pause. The voice returned, lower now. Sergeant Thorne, confirm your identity visually. Approach slowly. No weapons. The Arkena ship moved with perfect grace. A large screen inside the ship showed the human fleet. Liam could see their guns tracking the vessel. One wrong move, and they would all be vapor. A docking port opened. Liam stepped out onto the platform. His armor was repaired, his chest bare, to show the glowing royal mark. The human soldiers stared at him, wide-eyed. He had become something else. Inside the command ship, Colonel Dren stood frozen as Liam entered. You're alive, he said flatly. But what is that on your chest? What have they done to you? Liam stood tall. They saved me. When we came to observe, we didn't understand their world. We judged them as primitive, but they are not weak. They are more advanced than we imagined. And they showed me mercy, Dren crossed his arms. And now you stand here with their crest. Speaking like one of them, Liam didn't blink. Because I've seen what's coming. I saw it in my mind. If we attack, we all burn. The Queen saw it too. That's why she sent me. To stop this before the sky turns red. Dren's face hardened. Command wants their technology. They want the light energy. That planet holds enough power to fuel Earth's colonies for 100 years. And what price will you pay for it? Liam asked. A war you can't win. A queen who won't surrender. You'll turn a peaceful world into a graveyard. The room fell quiet. Screens flickered. Officers exchanged looks. Liam stepped forward and laid a small crystal on the table. It was a memory stone given by Elsera. Inside it, a projection of her voice and face played. I am Queen Elsera of Arkena. I do not bow to threats, but I extend peace to those who reach. With open hands, touch my world with fire, and you will know wrath. But speak to us with truth, and you will have a seat at the table. When it ended, no one spoke. The light from the stone faded. Dren stared at the table, his voice lower now. You believe her. You trust this alien queen, Liam answered without hesitation. With my life, she trusted me first. When I was broken, when I was a stranger, she saw more in me than Earth ever did. Dren's eyes narrowed. If I give this to command, they will call you a traitor. They'll say you were turned, brainwashed. Are you ready to be marked as enemy by your own people? Liam nodded. If peace costs me my title, then let them take it. I've already found something more powerful than rank. I found purpose. Dren looked away. For the first time he seemed uncertain. Then he waved his hand. You have 1 day. I'll delay the strike. But if command overrules me, this planet will burn whether you stand on it or not. Liam returned to the Arkena ship. The moment he stepped inside, Vexa gave a short nod. You were heard. But were you believed? Liam sighed. Not fully. But we have 1 day. And that's more than I expected. The return to Arkena was silent. Liam sat near the window, watching stars blur past. His hands were steady, but his thoughts were not. 1 day, that was all they had. 24 hours to stop the destruction of an entire world. Queen Elsera stood at the temple balcony, her arms crossed as the sun dipped below the peaks. She had felt his arrival before the ship landed. Their bond ran deeper than distance now. She turned before he spoke, her voice firm. You were heard. But not trusted. Their weapons are not aimed away. They wait. And the hourglass is almost empty. Liam nodded slowly. They gave me 1 day, no promises, just time. It's not enough. But it's something. Elsura stepped forward. Time is not given, it is bought. And you paid for it with your name. Your place among your kind. Liam looked at her with quiet certainty. Then let them call me whatever they want. I didn't come back for them. I came back for this world. For you. At her command, the high flame tower was lit. It burned silver in the sky. A signal of peace, but also a warning. If the humans attacked, the flame would rise higher, releasing a force older than any of them. The Arkenan people gathered across the palace terraces. The queen stood before them, her voice carried by the wind. A storm approaches, one not of our making. But we will not kneel. We will not run. We stand with the one who chose us. The crowd bowed their heads toward Liam, some with pride, some with hesitation. But all in silence. In that moment, he was no longer a visitor. He was a guardian. High above, Earth's fleet hovered near the gate. Planet's edge, the commanders debated. Some pushed for war. Others doubted. The image of the Queen and Liam, the prophecy, the vision, it had shaken their unity. Colonel Dren stood alone in the command center. He stared at the burning tower from orbit. His hand hovered over the final code. His orders were clear. If no change came within the day, launch the strike. But his heart wavered. Liam's voice echoed in his head. You're about to destroy the one place that showed us mercy. Back on Arkena, Liam prepared for the worst. He stood at the Queen's side, dressed in ceremonial armor marked with both Arkenan and human symbols. He had chosen both paths, and stood between them without fear. Elsura reached for his hand. If they choose war, I will unleash the core flame. It will not only destroy their fleet, it will scar the space around us. This planet will survive, but only barely. Liam met her eyes. Then let me try one last time. Let me speak to their hearts, even if they no longer believe in mine. A communication beacon was set on the palace roof. It connected directly to Earth's command bridge. Liam stood before it. His voice was steady. His body marked with the Queen's light. His words simple. This is not a trap. It is not a trick. This is a choice. You came here seeking energy. You found life. If you destroy this place, you destroy the part of humanity that still listens. I've seen the future. It's fire. But it can still be turned to light. He paused and stepped aside. Elsura walked forward. Her voice followed his. I speak not as ruler, but as one who has loved. You see us as alien, as other. But we dream like you. We hope like you. And we bleed like you. If you fire, you break not just peace. You break your own reflection. The message ended. No reply came. Minutes passed, then an hour. The tower's fire climbed higher. The sky turned red. Every soldier in the palace held their breath. Every mother clutched her child. The silence felt like thunder waiting to strike, then a ripple. Crossed the sky, Earth's fleet began to move, but not inward. Not to attack. Their ships turned, slowly, carefully. They pulled away from orbit and entered retreat formation. Inside the palace, cheers broke out. Soldiers dropped their weapons and embraced. Children ran through the halls. The Queen stood still, her face unreadable. But her eyes shimmered with tears. Liam stepped to her side. They chose peace, maybe just for today. But that's enough. She looked at him. You changed them, not with weapons, but with truth and love. He smiled faintly. No, you changed me first. Days passed. The fleet left orbit. No war followed. Earth remained silent. But peace held. Arkena healed. Liam was given a role in the royal guard, not for show, for leadership, for unity. He and Elsera walked the palace grounds together often. Not as ruler and soldier, but as something more. Two souls, bound not by blood or race, but by choice. Under the stars of Arkena, a human stood where none had ever stood before. Not as conqueror, not as outsider, but as one who was claimed, and one who had chosen to stay.